ABBA KYARI still on hot seat as 31 lawyers from 19 northern states to defend ABBA KYARI. Well, that's what is coming from Barrister Salisu. Says 31 lawyers. Okay, though he's in a hot seat. Why does he need 31 lawyers? He needed not 31 lawyers. He only needs 1 or 2, 3 lawyers. Then let him go to the US. According to the former AGF of Nigeria, said ABBA KYARI shouldn't wait to be extradited. If truly his hands are clean and he does not have any skeleton in his cupboard, he should be the first person to board the plane, fly to FBI's office and sit down for interrogation and tell them he has nothing to do with H0T, and they'll free him. Well, integrity should be displayed here. Well, according to a report published by Daily Post on Wednesday, 11th August 2021, 31 lawyers from 19 northern states have indicated their interest to defend the embattled Super Cop ABBA KYARI. This disclosure was made by Barrister Bapa Salisu, who spoke on behalf of the 31 legal practitioners from 19 northern states of the country. It should be recalled that Deputy Commissioner of Police ABBA KYARI has been requested to be extradited to the United States by the Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) over his indictment, meant by Abbas Ramoni, popularly known as H0T, who is standing trial in an American court. ABBA KYARI has also been suspended by the Police Commission, and a panel of inquiry has been set up to try him if at all there will be need for him to be extradited for trials in the United States. The group of lawyers had earlier complained about the request of the FBI to extradite KYARI, calling it illegal, not following due process, and a breach of international protocols. Well, it's in their words, we would raise questions involving the possibility of breaches to KYARI's fundamental rights entrenched in Article 6 and 7 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which essentially states that every individual shall have the right to liberty and the security of his person, and every individual shall have the right to have his cause heard. Okay, that's the problem. So when Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, because they said he was extradited from Kenya to Nigeria, why didn't they take due process? Kenya also should be in trouble. And meanwhile, Kenya and Nigeria does not have extradition treaty. There is no agreement for extradition in the constitution, and there is no treaty agreement, so-called, for extradition between Kenya and Nigeria. And meanwhile, let me buttress the point and let me tell vividly to these lawyers that United States and Nigeria, number one, has an agreement of extradition. There is a treaty of extradition, which is the agreement between United States and Nigeria, which is there's an agreement, because if there is no agreement, FBI will not jump from US and send an arrest warrant for ABBA KYARI to be extradited to US. And meanwhile, in other words, concerning what happened to Nnamdi Kanu, now they are telling us that he has the essential right, that he should be given right to liberty and security of his person, which is ABBA KYARI. So when it comes to the northern citizen of Nigeria, there are due processes. They have the right, or the fundamental human rights will be followed. So, but when it comes to the Southerner, anybody coming from the south, the law does not, when it comes to fundamental human rights, they don't have, immunity, or there's no fundamental human right for Southern people. That's the same thing that happened to Nnamdi Kanu. You see that this Fulani and the Buhari administration have a whole lot of plan and agenda, but definitely the agenda is not going to work. Your world is watching, because you extradited Nnamdi Kanu all the way from Kenya down to Nigeria without due process, without respecting his fundamental human rights. And now you are telling us that they have raised questions involving the possibility of breaches to KYARI's fundamental rights entrenched in the Article 6 and 7 in the Constitution of the African Charter, Charter on Human and People's Rights, which essentially state that every individual shall have the right to liberty. But Nnamdi Kanu did not have right to liberty, but he was extradited. Well, I would know if truly what they are saying, and may not want to allow ABBA KYARI to be extradited. If possible, they should also release Nnamdi Kanu. So let them weigh this issue. Let them weigh this issue they brought up. Then they will know either they will implicate themselves or not. Now they have already implicated themselves. If truly ABBA KYARI will not be extradited, that means what they did to Nnamdi Kanu is violation of human rights, and they need to be charged to court for that. Whoever that have planned with the federal government to extradite Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria would also face International Criminal Court. The court will judge them, and they have matched the snake in the tail. And meanwhile, for them to have violated that fundamental human right that they claim that every individual shall have the right to liberty and the security of his person, and every individual shall have the right to have his cause heard. But Nnamdi Kanu was not presented in the day of the court, and they never allowed him to speak. And now the northern people, or northern lawyer, or northern in general, the north would not allow ABBA KYARI to be extradited just because they are following due process, and they said every individual shall have the right to have his or her cause heard, which is they should allow him his opinion to be heard. Let him speak for himself. Well, the lawyers, through their spokesperson, Barrister Salisu, concluded by saying this comprises the right to an appeal to competent national organs against act of violating its fundamental rights as recognized and guaranteed by conventions, law, regulation, and custom in office. Well, the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty by a competent court or tribunal. The right to defend, including the right to be defended by counsel of his choice. The right to be tried within a reasonable time by an impartial court or tribunal. Well, do you think that this group of lawyers from the northern part of the country would be able to achieve their aim of securing freedom for the embattled police officer and prevent his extradition to the United States? Well, that's the question I'm throwing out. I would like you to lay your comments in the comment section, because as it is, if they are telling us the FBI wants to violate ABBA KYARI's fundamental human rights by issuing a warrant of arrest to ABBA KYARI and extradite him to the US, I want to know if same goes to Nnamdi Kanu and also Sunday Igboho, because now they are telling us the FBI wants to trample upon his fundamental human rights. So Nnamdi Kanu also does not have any fundamental human rights. That's the question. Well, hit up the comment section and lay your comments.